Can you start off, tell me a little bit about the bill you filed regarding the shopping malls?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in North Attleboro. I've lived here my entire life. And I remember going to the Emerald Square Mall as a kid and seeing the hustle and bustle of, going with my mom or my grandmother to try on clothes in the Macy's. And you would go to all these different stores to see what's around. Unfortunately, that same experience is not there anymore for too many. And unfortunately, we have an absentee landlord basically that has a history of running malls like this into the ground across the country, try to make a profit on the sale. And the Emerald Square Mall is the largest taxpayer in the town of North Attleboro. And if this building were demolished due to corporate greed, our residences and our small businesses would have to bear the brunt of that tax factor. And it would have an impact on our municipal services and quality of life services as well. And there are many incentives that are available right now to mall owners, not just this one, but across the state, to work with developers who want to see these places. And that hasn't happened because of um, corporate greed. So, what we've been proposing is saying if you're not willing to allow a responsible developer to work with you, to work with the town, to develop a building that can be a better use for our consumers in 2025, then you should have to face consequences for that. Um, the mall already gets abatements through property taxes and has for decades. And that trickle down effect just isn't working.
Okay. And I noticed that in the bill, you kind of like left it up to the individual towns or communities, what those, you know, penalties would be.
Right.
Do you have something in mind for what you'd like to see in Attleboro if this were to pass?
I think that these types of discussions are best held when we talk as a community. I think that there's a plethora of ideas that have been thrown out there. There's been asked for entertainment, there's been asked for education uses, healthcare uses, manufacturing. There's a plenty of ideas. The problem is none of those ideas will come to fruition as long as this landlord remains the landlord and does not work collaboratively with the town to install any of those uses. And again, we as a town have given him, abatements after year, and those handouts just aren't working. It's the trickle down effect is not being seen, and now we have an abandoned ghost town where the escalators don't work. People are getting trapped in the elevator. The roof is leaking constantly, and our residents demand more and expect more from those that want to do business with our town.
You kind of led into my next question. It's been a while since I've been inside that mall. What's it kind of look like these days?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a ghost town. There used to be Christmas decorations that were hung up every year. They don't even do that anymore. And almost every other store is considered vacant. You go into the food court and there's barely anybody there, and that's unfortunate. And we lost an anchor store a couple of years ago. I just see all of these empty buildings as a opportunity zone. Where can we invest in the next either grocery store or entertainment venue or life science center? These are all possibilities, but we're not going to cross that line unless we stand up uh, to an absentee landlord.
Have you heard from the landlord at all since you made this proposal?
No,
Okay. What about the reaction of the town? Have you heard any feedback?
yeah, people are supportive. I mean, people have been seeing this property basically go to waste for years, and I think it's time that somebody stood up to them.
Mhm. Um, what would you say kind of like your vision for that mall? Like, what, dream scenario, your bill gets passed,
Yeah, I
it does
mean,
its job.
I wish we didn't have to do this,
Yeah,
unfortunately, but if we do and it keeps going the way it's going, then we're gonna have to have conversations. If they don't pay their taxes, then that's gonna give the town flexibility to put a lien on the property and bring them to force them to the table to work with a responsible developer who can transition this into a facility where programs can happen in the educational space, such as along vocational training or life sciences or doctors' offices. There's an abundant need of everything, in housing included. I have a lot of seniors right now that are living in town that would love to downsize, but they can't because those properties don't exist. And 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 this could really put North Attleboro on the map with a revitalized Emerald Square Mall.